This episode of ETC is brought to you by Rick and Morty on Adult Swim.
Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of News Jump, coming straight from the Middle East.
Yeah, so, I mean, we were all really hoping, had our fingers crossed, that Pixels would be, you know, the first half-decent Adam Sandler comedy of the last century.
Yeah.
Or this century.
This millennia.
Yeah. Or at least the last decade. But looks like that's not the case.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, reviews are in, and wow. It's currently sitting at around 20%, but before that, it was sitting at a perfect 0 until the guy from Cinnamon Blend chimed in with a 4-star review, throwing off the balance of the universe single-handedly.
He did it.
Yeah, he sure did.
He got that clickbait.
Yeah, I think it's up to like 4 reviews are in some way positive.
From their top reviewers, yes.
Yeah,
and even those are just
the
like...
fan critics, it's sitting at 100%. Certified fresh.
The Sandler fans will be happy.
Yeah, they love it.
Anyway, we'll get to those good reviews in due time, but for now, let's do a nice little fun rundown of the bad ones, because it's always just fun to shit on things.
Yeah.
Peter Travers of Rolling Stone said, "I see Pixels as a 3D metaphor for Hollywood's digital assault on our eyes and brains. Not funny, just relentless and exhausting."
He's a trustworthy man.
Travers has been doing that shit for a while.
Yep. Amy Nicholson of LA Weekly said, here's a shocker. In Pixels, his latest, Adam Sandler plays a stunted man-child who turns out to be very, very special. Adam Sandler movies are pretty much like, he's always winning at everything.
Yeah, it's like, this guy's just terrible, but you know what? He's got a heart of gold.
Despite being a moron, he'll conquer all those odds.
I had never really seen it spelled out that well until good old...
Well, it works 1 or 2 times.
Amy Nicholson of LA Weekly. It works 1 or 2 times in Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Sandy Cohen, no relation to the lead character in the OC, played by Peter Gallagher. He worked for the Associated Press, and he said, "Part of the problem is that it's unclear who the filmmakers think their audience is. This is a big-budget spectacle about 1980s nostalgia aimed at kids who have no emotional connection to that decade. Pixels is also insanely sexist."
I like the little tidbit at the end there.
It's also
incredibly sexist. Inku Kang of The Wrap said, "The point of Pixels, other than some genuinely thrilling special effects of matter evaporating into digitized blocks of confetti, is the dumb message that guys who peaked in middle school totally deserve hot girlfriends because of their awesome gaming skills."
Well, what's wrong about that, man? I mean,
completely accurate.
I took the Adderall, and I won the game.
Now we're all pro athletes, pro ethletes. Yeah. Rocked the esports leagues.
And good old Mark Olson of our LA Times had this to say: "Some movies are so interminable that it seems they might never end, while others are assembled with such indifference that you are essentially left waiting for them to start. Pixels somehow manages both."
It never gets off the ground and then just stays there. Great. Great.
So, I mean, the negative reviews all make essentially the same point. If you hate Adam Sandler movies, or at least the ones he's made in the last 10 years or so, you will not like this, but the special effects are pretty good.
Yeah. Did anyone say anything about the rest of the cast? Or is it they've just singled out Adam Sandler?
They said, well, no, they're just talking about it as an Adam Sandler vehicle. They said him and Paul Blart, whatever his fucking name is.
Kevin
Hart? Nope.
No. Kevin Durant? No, Kevin Durant.
Kevin McAllister? Nope. What is his fucking name?
Paul Blart. Paul Blart's in this movie. He's great.
Anyway, they said that Adam Sandler and Paul Blart are the straight men in the story.
Oh, great.
Paul Blart is apparently the actor who plays...
You used to look this up.
Paul Blart is the president of the United States in this movie. He's the president.
Oh, good.
Good. But him and Adam Sandler are the straight characters.
Yeah.
And Josh Gad and Peter Dinklage are the funny characters.
Good.
So they said that was cool.
Okay, well, there's a positive review.
But anyway, Paul Blart's the president. President Blart. But anyway, though, back to that Cinema Blend review that threw off the whole balance of the universe.
Yeah. The writer spends the first half of the review explaining why this movie is a terrible idea that was obviously terrible to anyone watching the trailers, but then says, hey, Josh Gad and Peter Dinklage are funny, and the action is surprisingly okay. That's a sterling review.
Yeah.
Surprisingly
4 stars.
okay.
That warrants 4
Put that
stars.
text on the trailer when it comes up. Surprisingly okay.
He didn't say those exact words, but I was reading between lines.
Okay,
He essentially says, "Oh, it's the best Adam Sandler movie in years."
Okay.
But
Better
it's
than
not
The
that
Cobbler?
great. But 4 out of 5 stars for no reason.
Wow. I'm still gonna see it. I think it looks fun, but I gotta see Ant-Man first because I've been out here.
Right,
So
yeah.
Ant-Man and then Pixels,
Priorities.
back to back. Maybe I'll do Pixels first.
Yeah.
I use Ant-Man to wash that taste out of my eyes.
Anyway, moving on to stuff that we actually really think probably is going to be good and will be devastated if it's not. Fox keeps just drip feeding us little tastes of the X-Files,
Please.
like reboot
Please.
series thing.
More, please. Please. Please.
They keep sending us little X-Files things. And they, so last week we did a little teaser. We had a little teaser for it. This week they did a slightly different teaser on the finale of Wayward Pines where Mulder and Scully actually speak.
Oh, good.
They use their mouths to
Finally.
talk.
Yeah, after a couple shots we saw last week, we see Mulder ask, "Are you ready for this, Scully?" And Scully responds, "I don't know if there's a choice." Pretty vague.
Maybe they're talking about fucking.
Yeah, it's like Californication, but with X-Files. Oh. Yeah, he's a sex addict still. In slightly more interesting news, we now know a little bit more of the casting for the show's supporting characters, starting with some familiar faces, the Lone Gunman.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you watch the X-Files, you know who the Lone Gunmen are. They're like the conspiracy theorist dudes that were around for a pretty big part of the show. They're also the people that managed to predict exactly how 9/11 would happen a year before it did in an episode of the show. So, yeah, that's cool. They were always fan favorites.
Yeah, you'll also remember, though, that they're all dead.
Yeah, they died. Sorry.
but
Spoiler
whatever,
alert, it was like 15 years ago.
It is the X-Files, and at an event in Australia, actor Dean Haglund told a crowd, "Today they contacted us. We're shooting July 28th. The gunmen are in the final 6.
So probably not a major role. That's like a week's notice, but I mean, that's cool. But there's also news from Variety about some other casting. Robbie Amell from The Flash and Lauren Ambrose from 6 Feet Under and Can't Hardly Wait are apparently going to play FBI agents. It's kind of weird because they look kind of like a younger version of Mulder and Scully.
They're setting it up for the next, the actual series where it's young Mulder and Scully.
I mean, I can see them doing some sort of gag with it. But anyway, they're only describing the characters as like a pair of FBI agents who are smart, confident, stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Sure.
vague.
But here's some cool news. Comedian Kumail Nanjiani, star of Silicon Valley and self-proclaimed and host of a podcast proving that he is a X-Files super fan,
Yes.
got to live out his fantasies, and he got a guest role on one of the new episodes, and he was tweeting photos from the set of Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny.
Yeah, and like he said that like during a break in shooting, they started just like reminiscing about the old days, and he was just like, yeah, keep it coming. And they were like, you know what, you should record this. Get out your phone. And so he did, and he's like trying to use it on
Basically
like
podcasting.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, is it cool if I can use this on one of my podcasts? And they're like, yeah, we don't give a shit.
Fucking David Duchovny. You think I give a shit? Moving on, though, if you watched our little squirt episode about the Mexican cartel lord El Chapo escaping from prison and you thought it looked like something out of a movie, possibly, well, Hollywood is already dozens of steps ahead of you.
Yeah, so it looks like Ridley Scott is lined up to direct a big screen adaptation of the novel The Cartel by Don Winslow, which is a work of fiction about two friends whose paths diverge when one ends up working for the DEA and the other ends up working for the Sonora drug cartel. That's El Chapo's crew there.
For sure. El Chapo is a character in the novel, and his 2001 prison escape, not the most recent one, sadly, they are part of the story. The book has been making the rounds in Hollywood a lot since it was published, and El Chapo's recent second escape most likely put it on the fastest track to production that you could have.
Yeah, so I mean,
Let's get this made now.
While everything in Mexico,
There's still time to put the second escape in the script.
I'm sure, because this one's like a work of fiction, but like it happens to have real characters in it. I'm sure the El Chapo movie, much like the Escobar movie, that's like I think in various stages of production, it's all happening. So I mean, like, yeah, it sucks that Mexico sucks so bad right now, and like, you know, being full of terrible men.
It sucks that the cartels are very terrible, but like, I mean, at least we're gonna get great movies about it.
Yeah.
The Mob was terrible in like Chicago and Boston and stuff.
That's not much
Departed
consolation.
is a great movie. Departed is a great movie.
We all love crime movies. Don't love crime so much.
Yeah. The inspiration is terrible, but the movies are great. And for video of the week, since we are in Abu Dhabi, our friend Ahmed helped find a video for us. He was supposed to be here. We did the podcast with him. You'll see that on Monday. We'll do the podcast with him and Dan Casey. Great podcast.
Dream team. Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So he helped find this video for us, and it is how they ghost ride the whip here in the Middle East.
The car culture is nuts here.
It's insane here. So this is everyone ghost riding the whip, and they all do it to this song. It's like this viral sensation that took over. So here's everyone ghost riding the whip in the Middle East. Enjoy that, and don't forget to watch the podcast on Monday because you are in for a treat. We talk about our entire trip over here. The footage will actually see the light of day in September.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can give some like snippets.
Very quick snippets.
But yeah, the bulk of it's not till September when the reason we're here happens.
We've been pretty open.
when Fury 7's Blu-ray is about to come out, that's when it all goes.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun being here. We're excited to get back into the studio, and I'm excited to get back in my own bed.
Yeah.
But
the beds here are great, though.
Yeah, they are great. The whole country's great. Everything's great. We had a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you soon. Watch our other content right over here. Bye.
Bye.